Hello everybody. So it has been a while, hasn't it? And I can't apologize enough to you. It has been a while. So the car, the Eclipse, my goodness, looking oh so 2 stages ago. The white was a temporary measure. I'm going to condense a very long story real quick. I had to, in conjunction with a very good friend of mine from the Rotary Club here in Nova Scotia, and my wife, had to wrap this car tremendously quickly. I was on my way to my normal employment, and the rear end on my little RAV4, bless it, decided to have a bit of a tantrum whilst I was driving with my wife and children in the car, and a recovery was required. So that car is kind of in limbo right now, and we needed a vehicle for us to get to work. So we wrapped the car in the white. It did look great. I was really happy with it in the time that I did it in and the results that I got. But the problem we had was that exhaust. It's pretty much straight through. There was a collection of speckles of soot and things like that and dirt. The pearl matte white vinyl, guys, is a nightmare to keep clean. And that's me being, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite polite about it, I guess, ultimately. It's a nightmare. Gloss white, any of the gloss is not a problem. You can wash and wax away, but this stuff, it just seems to attract dirt, and it's very difficult to get it back off again. So the big news with this car is I have sold this car. The chap that bought it, I now consider a good friend. He's a really nice guy. He's got a very clear image of what he wants the car to be. And we have a game plan and a way forward. And again, with his permission, I will make a video of it once it's done, and you'll see it because it's going to be quite the transformation. I'm the only one I know of in Canada that's doing what we're going to do. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So here's what we're doing. Stripping all this back, we are going to be doing carbon fiber vinyl wrap hood, which is already done. So what I want to show you is this is a brand new generation of carbon fiber. It's actually a gloss, pretty much. Old carbon fiber was more like an imprinted pattern. This is actually like a layer of carbon under a clear coat. So what I want to try and do is get you an accurate visual of this. It's actually got a holographic pattern. So as you move around, it actually replicates real carbon fiber, and I'm sort of trying to move around a little bit and get at you, but the lens is struggling to focus on the carbon. There you go. So that's going on the hood. It's also going on said rear wing. The rest of the car is going this. Now, we installed this quite cold, and that was a bit of a lesson learned, I guess. We were in here, it was 11 degrees, perhaps not the warmest temperature, I know, but we were just sort of seeing how it laid down and the results we were going to get. You can see from here, look like we haven't done any folding or tucking or anything like that. Now, this is a 3mm vinyl. It's extremely thick, very difficult to work with, but this is black chrome vinyl. So the whole car is going to be chrome, but black chrome. The results are just beautiful. Like, it's almost like a mirror, and I know this camera is never going to do this justice. I know it's all down to lighting. You have to see it in person. And I think once we actually get the car done, it will give you a far better overall picture of exactly how it's going to look. But we're going to town with that vinyl. It's going to look absolutely amazing. So that's what you're going to expect of that. But the other part of this video is I want to talk about what's to the right of me here. So this is my other car. Now, I know you haven't seen this before. This is something I mentioned in a previous video that was on its way. I never really bought this to own it. I have ended up driving it quite a lot. I somewhat fell in love with it. I've never been in a vehicle in my life that I've felt so instantaneously comfortable with. You sit in there and it's all about you. The cockpit, the way the dash is set out, the way that everything is set out. Everything's been thought about. Even when you're sat in there where your knee position is, they've even thought about that. This car truly is an engineering marvel. It really is. And it's just a nice place to be. When I got this car, it was offered to me as one of the cleanest Supras you'll ever find. And boy, they weren't kidding. I took it into Toyota when it got here from Japan. to get obviously all the fluids converted to Canadian spec and all this other stuff and get it checked out and safety inspected. And they could not believe this car. They've never seen anything like it. So it has 49,000 kilometers. It is 100% original paint, original wheels, original tires. It got here unmolested pretty much. The only thing that was done is they'd replaced the stereo in it for one of the Japanese touchscreeny things, which is useless in North America because it only goes to 89.9. So I've put a Pioneer app radio in there, I've put a Viper alarm on it, tinted the rear window on there, and engine-wise I put a HKS air filter on just so I could hear that beautiful, beautiful inline six sound. It's such a beautiful Supra sound. Everybody knows a Supra when you hear it, and it's amazing. So what I'm going to do is real quick, this is more for my advertising online because this car is for sale. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to walk you guys quickly over the car. I'm going to show you some of the finer points of the car. I'm going to start with the trunk area here. So I have put keyless entry. Unfortunately, on this car, it is still a mechanical release, so I'd have to put an actuator in there to get it to pop. So inside here, the actuators all still work. There is not a single fault with this car. There is absolutely nothing broken or wrong with this car. So in here, the carpet is like brand new, and what I want to show you is this. I mean, no rust. This jack has never been out. None of this has been out. Spare wheel, everything has been sat in there permanently. The trunk is immaculate. We'll move on. I'll show you down the side of the car. There you go, look. It's like a mirror. So there is a couple of stone chips in it, but I mean, it's a Supra, what do you expect? It's 20 years old. But other than that, I mean, it's just unreal. So inside here, look, there's the Pioneer app radio that I put in there, which is wonderful. So that's the interior. All the electric seats still work. Seats in phenomenal condition. No tears or cuts. The leather in the back there, absolutely perfect. Everything works. The air conditioning still blows freezing cold as well. And moving on. So quickly, again, just to show you, they are Yokohama Advan tyres on there right now. They're like brand spanking new as well. If I can sort of show you, get my finger in there. So you know we've got probably about 5mm, 6mm of tread on there still. And the brakes gleaming. There's unbelievable. When they actually took these off to inspect the brakes and stuff, even the lug nuts that's on there right now are polished. There isn't even any dirt on them, and there's nothing. It's quite an amazing car. I wasn't joking. So this is the engine, guys. And I mean, I want to show you, like, there's not a thing at all leaking. There's never been a leak, dirt, grease, oil, anywhere. Since owning it, I've put 6,000 kilometers on it. It's just had its second synthetic oil change. One from when I first got it and the one that I've just done. So in here, I mean, again, you know, it's literally like brand new, guys. It's one of a kind, an absolute one of a kind. If somebody's looking for a 2JZ NA, I think you would probably struggle to find one like this. I don't think there's many more like this left. Options on this one, it came with the, I guess that's a touring pack. It's got the gold badges. A front splitter I can't really comment on, but they did have at the time the factory veil side skirts and the factory veil side rear bumper spats as well there. So that's the only real upgrades that I could say that's been on this car. Other than that, it's factory. Now, I do have the original airbox and the original air filter. I have the original car stereo with the original tape deck. And I have absolutely everything to put this car back to 100% original stock if you want. That's entirely your call. I put the AirTake on purely because I just love that engine. I love that inline six sound. So if anybody out there knows anybody who's looking for a immaculate Supra, there's one right here. Please feel free to message me and get in touch.